off. Marina Franklin here with
Evelyn Frick.
oh my god, switching sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Someone was like tweeting, they were like, why does Marina do that?
I saw that. They're like, why the singing intros?
Just curious. I was like,
Yeah. Why not?
why not? Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun.
It's
It's
like
a
she must
good
hate it.
honestly, I think it's a good energy. It's good to start things on a good beat.
Oh yeah, every time we do this with the where I sing, everyone on the show is like,
Yeah, exactly.
and then it's like a fun, like energy's going. It's like you said, it's great.
It's good. Yeah.
How are you doing with the allergies, Evelyn?
I'm I've been okay. But it seems like everyone around me has been just like sneezing, coughing, all that. I know it's coming for me at some point because I do get seasonal like spring allergies. But right now I'm just enjoying all like how alive New York looks right now, or at least my neighborhood. It's just all the flowers are in bloom. The cherry blossoms like came out this weekend. So yeah, I've been enjoying it, but I know that very soon I will be sneezing a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting because even in the shows, I can see people they're sneezing in the room,
Oh, really?
and I always make COVID jokes. I'm like, mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
you could tell an allergy sneeze from because it's like you can see their eyes watering and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can't stop. And like last night, they say it's because the city has been really dry for
Um,
um for the past. There's been no rain, so
yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, I was just actually talking about that with my girlfriend the other day. I was like, there've been no April showers as of yet. I know we're supposed to maybe get a little bit of rain later today, and
Mhm.
maybe tomorrow. But yeah,
Needed.
I love a spring thunderstorm, so I've been really disappointed thus far.
Oh yeah, they're saying that it's like bushfires are happening because
Oh
it's
my God.
we need rain. It's funny because I never think of rain like that. I'm like, oh good, I can go out and I don't have to worry
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
rain. You don't think about, oh yeah, that's right. The land actually needs it.
I know. Or I don't even think like I think of like bushfires as like
So
California
do
or like
I.
Australia, like not New York City.
Yeah, me too. So, what else? So, what did you do this morning?
It's been a slow, just kind of relaxing morning. Yesterday after work, it was so beautiful. My girlfriend and I just went to the beach, which was really nice. So yeah, so we were out a little bit more yesterday afternoon. So we've just been staying in, having kind of a cozy start to the weekend, which has been really nice. What about you?
What beach?
We went to Brighton Beach. I think the Rockaways opened yesterday,
Mm.
but I live like not too far from Brighton Beach, and there's just something about like walking around the beach and being around all these like elderly Russian people that I
Oh
really
yes.
love. They just have such a good vibe. I don't know. It's fun. I like it.
Yes, Rockaway. I think that's where I took my photo, where I'm
Mm.
like in my bathing suit, my bikini. That was
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah. I remember telling them when I took that photo, it's like rocks, right? There's a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
rocks. Yeah. And you're right. It's very cultural, that area.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, this is different. I didn't even there's so many parts to New York you don't even realize.
Oh,
When you're
for
not from New
sure.
York, you just think it's just the city.
Right. Yeah. No. And like I've lived here now for like 3-ish years, and I feel like I haven't even like begun to scrape the surface of like going and being in different like neighborhoods, and like I haven't really spent a lot of time in Queens, but I know that like there's like a really great Greek neighborhood and like all different kinds of, cultural cuisine that I really want to try.
Oh yeah, there's and beautiful parks. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's joining us today, but I went to Cold Springs on Thursday.
Oh, I love Cold Springs.
Have you oh, you've been to Cold Springs?
Yeah, like a very, very briefly, but it's also on the Metro North line to Poughkeepsie, which is where I went to college. So like whenever I'd come back from like a
Oh,
break, you can like see it out the window, and it's just so pretty.
isn't it's so pretty? And there's like a street where they have antique stores.
I know. I've been dying to go there.
It's so much fun, and, we did a little shopping. I got my sister an old camera,
Oh, that's nice.
Kodak camera, because she's doing that for photography, um, and they have, like, perfume stores where you make your own perfume.
Mm.
I will say this, though,
Mhm.
I saw something just antique stores, you never know what you're gonna see.
Yeah, right.
What I'm about to say?
I don't.
I saw a swastika. So
Ooh,
yeah, and my friend who was with me is Jewish, and which struck her right away. Like, she was like,
yeah.
you know, "The hell? Why do you have this here?"
Was it like something that they were selling?
Yeah.
Ooh, I
It
hate
was it
that.
was like a bear tooth claw with a swastika symbol on it, and
Weird.
it was in the front case.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
hate that. I know that like there are and that's like a big thing with like the news story with like um Justice Thomas, like this guy that's been like funding him is like a like a collector of like Nazi memorabilia. People who collect that, like horrible vibes. I like it just really creepy and weird and like the people are like, oh, it has like historical value, blah blah blah. Like I'd rather just destroy all of that, honestly.
That
It's
was her
creepy.
explanation, by the way.
Oh
She
really?
goes, "To be honest, we get, she's like, "We get people with Jewish ancestry who come in here and they wanna buy it." I was like, "They want to buy it?
What?
Your wording
I
is off."
Right. I've never met a Jewish person who wants to buy stuff with swastikas on it.
She's like, "'Cause they wanna keep it." I was like, I mean, it was just I wanted to tell her, "Oh, please stop. Don't talk
Yep. Mm-mm.
anymore.
Yeah. You're making
Don't."
it worse.
I mean, and she was messing up anyway because, like, when we first went in there, like, I was asking her questions. She's like, "Oh, I have 18 sellers, so I don't really know."
Yeah.
You know, because they come in, they drop off the items, so I can't really answer your question. My friend Lois was like, "Oh, that must be an easy job to just say, 'Oh, I have 18 sellers. I don't really know. I can't really answer your question.'"
Yeah.
And then she had this moment, and I was like, "Yeah,
No.
you need to
Also,
know."
yeah, it's like it's also like so different if this is like I don't know, like a premier like auction house, like maybe I could understand like if it were like some like thing that was worth like $100,000. But like if this is some like some antique shop in Cold Spring, New York, like my guess is that the person who will end up buying that like has some like weird beliefs, probably white supremacist beliefs.
It was wild. It
Yeah, I
was
can
like,
imagine.
my friend was like, I am from like she broke down like, how Holocaust survivors and you could feel the emotion, and I was just
Yeah.
like, and that woman was trying to go, well, and I was like, no, don't just
Mm-mm.
shush. Don't
Yeah,
say
yeah.
nothing else.
And yeah. Well, that's the same like the same like reaction for me too. Like when I've been in antique shops and like things like lawn jockeys. It's like that's so horribly racist. Like why are you selling this item? Like you're not going to be selling it to someone who like I don't know, like people who buy that are like going to be propagating really
But I
horrible
guess I
beliefs.
guess the antique stores just take whatever people give them.
One would think they could just be like, actually, no, I don't want this.
Right?
That is just like such a weird excuse to be like, I don't know what people bring into my shop. It's like, surely you'd want to like vet that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof.
Weird.
I've seen like when I was in college, I used to see like old minstrel stuff on the walls and like
Really?
yeah, old like pictures of like babies running from alligators or crocodiles, that
Yeah.
used to be a thing in the South. They used to
Oh,
have
sure.
paintings of that and like stereotypical like coon faces and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
Aunt Jemima stuff, and you would see that and you'd just be like, oh my God. Now
Yeah.
that doesn't bother me as much. That type of stuff I would buy only because that does have a sort of like, I would take that to
Yeah.
own that because it has, I think that's a different
Mm.
connotation in a sense. I could be wrong, but it does,
I,
yeah, it
yeah.
doesn't have,
There's like it's interesting. I actually saw a TikTok the other day of this like person who was in an antique shop and they saw something, some like image that like had minstrelsy like connotations, and they're like, what do I like do with this? Because I think they like actually bought it so that like it wouldn't like, I don't know, like get into like weird hands. And then this person responded and was like, hey, I actually have like this guy was like, I actually have like a museum of like Black history like in America, like would you ship that to me? Because those things like they do present like the accurate like picture of like how like Black people have been depicted
right.
by white people in the US. And so the person did, and so now it's like as like on display in like a museum, as
Yeah.
like a historical fact. So I agree, like I do think
Yeah.
there
That's,
is.
it's different too. It's
Yeah.
not like a symbol of, well, it's a symbol of stereotypes. I guess it's images of stereotypes. It's not a symbol of hate. I
Yeah.
guess it's a product of hate. It's
Yeah.
or the people who were ignorant, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very.
Right. Right. But it's not like a KKK like
Yeah, yeah, or a
uniform or
Confederate
something.
flag,
Right.
like a
Right.
Confederate flag. God, I used to see those all the time and be like, "Ugh."
I know. I like. I mean, I don't. I haven't visited my parents a ton recently, but like even like visiting my parents in like central Pennsylvania, like I would see Confederate flags, and it's like this is historically like the North. Like, what? Why do you have that? But yeah, thankfully you don't see a ton of that in New York.
Thankfully. So Sujay, who was here, Sujay, what is the place in the Bronx? If you don't mind putting it in the chat. That is a really nice place to visit in the Bronx. There's some spots in the Bronx that are very like, Wave Hill. Yes, Wave
Wave
Hill.
Hill. Ooh, okay, I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
Yeah, and he sent me an image of it, and it's beautiful gardens and all that, and you
Oh,
just
I love
wouldn't
that.
know. And I know someone who lives up there that didn't even know that was there. It must be
Oh, that's
really, is
great.
it hidden, Sujay? I'm gonna put that.
It
I should
must
put that.
be. Yeah.
I, oh, look, I'm giving away your secret hiding spot. Not everyone knows. Well, 7 people know right now,
Yeah.
and the 150 who watches this later will now know. But hey,
Yeah, but we know we have so many viewers abroad. Not everyone in New York. Well, is not everyone's in New York to go.
yes, yes. Sujay's like, yeah, no, just for my brown and Black folks. But what about Evelyn? You leaving Evelyn out?
I'm okay. There's so many places.
So, we were just. Well, I'll ask this when the guy comes on. We had a Comedy Cellar party,
Ooh.
and I guess, Stace, you want to know about my shows last Saturday at the Fab Black? Really? Did it? Why? I do so every weekend, every Saturday when I do this. I jump off and then I get ready and I head downtown to do shows. And I guess, yeah, I'm back in the grind again of being at the Cellar or doing local spots. So I'm back. I'm just back. I do kind of miss the theaters. I gotta say, like, oh
Yeah.
God, that's so nice just to perform and do like a solid 20-25 minutes, taking in my time. I'm always rushing on the weekends. It's like
Oh
you get, a lot of you probably don't know this, but like you see lineups maybe in New York and you're like, oh my God, what a great show. But we're like doing like 8 minutes a piece, maybe. So like a lot of material doesn't get done. So
yeah.
I recommend that you go and see each comic, go see them headline so you could see the full set. I think that's the most, or see them do a longer set.
Yeah.
Sujay says, I live in Riverdale, and 2 of you are always. Oh, okay. So he's allowing you to go, Evelyn.
Oh, good.
Riverdale is nice.
It is
You,
gorgeous.
it's just like, wow. I just did not know. Like when my sister's coming here again
Yeah.
Look at my face. She just keeps coming. I'm like, get a place.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know. She's like confused by Brooklyn. Like she thinks
Yeah.
it's like a block, or two. I'm like, no, Brooklyn could take you an hour to get from one side to the other.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard when you don't live here. It's just like, I mean, you hear about the boroughs, but it's like, what is even a borough? Like, it's hard to know.
So oh gosh. Okay, he's gonna jump in while I'm talking about one of his let's see, what topic is he not gonna talk about that we can talk about? Birth control.
Yeah,
What
yeah, sure.
about the pill and the fact that they are regular they're the
Oh, yeah, the Mifepristone, I think is
yeah,
it? Yeah, they
Mifepristone, and then now it's okay for like until next what's going on?
yeah, it's not great. So, Mifepristone, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, is one like it's an abortion. It's a medication abortion pill. So it's like the kind that like people can take um, and have an abortion at home, which is a preferable option to a lot of people to do it in privacy and with like friends and family around.
And it's for other things.
And yeah, yeah,
It's not
and
just abortion. It's called it's labeled the abortion pill
yeah.
by but it's not just an abortion pill. It's used for hemorrhaging.
Yes, right. Yeah, to like it just clears out like the thing that like the word abortion is so stigmatized. Like an abortion is really just clearing out your uterus and the things that are in there, the tissue that's in there, because there can also just be tissue that other tissue besides like cells that could become a fetus or could become a baby. But it's really scary that like now we're getting into this debate of whether or not, because like if this like ruling is allowed to stand, this means that there's now precedent for judges to just say like actually like this medication, whatever it is, should not be allowed. The FDA should not have made it usable, or yeah, shouldn't have approved it. So this could apply to anything.
Like COVID, right?
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. They could be like, actually, like Paxlovid should not have been approved, and they could take that away. So yeah, it's really scary. It has implications not just for women or for people who can get pregnant, but for everyone. Um, so we'll see. I am nervous. Like I think like the Department of Justice should have challenged that ruling to take it up to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court stayed the ruling, basically saying that that medication is now you can still use it until they make a larger ruling. But I am just nervous about what the Supreme Court will decide on that one because it's
We got to
uh,
get Clarence Thomas out.
oh my God, he's a mess. But the good news part of it is that mifepristone, usually for medication abortion in the United States, they give you two medications, mifepristone and misoprostol. So you can still healthily and safely have a medication abortion without mifepristone. But it makes the success rate is ever so slightly higher with both medications. So
Yeah, it's been used for years.
it's been for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And the rate of like people like of I don't know like someone dying like by taking this is so it's like out of hundreds and hundreds of trials, it was like 5 people somewhere around there, and of those 5 people, it actually doesn't take they died during the trials, but one of them was like died by homicide. So it
Oh,
wasn't even like they died because of the medication.
but they counted it?
But they counted it towards it. So anyway, and also like these, like the group who presented the lawsuit, they presented it in this one district in Texas where this ultra conservative judge is the only one on the bench right now. So they basically like guaranteed that this decision would happen. Um, yeah, so it's
And it's
not.
never this is the first time in history that this has ever happened.
Yeah, that they're challenging the FDA, which yeah has larger implications for things going forward
Yeah.
for all of our bodies. It does not bode well for like gender affirming care for like trans individuals, even though like hormone like medication isn't just for trans people. It's like there are other people who need it for various reasons. So yeah, it's not a great time
And
in our
Clarence
country.
Thomas has been spinning, or what did I see? He has a house that was very extreme right.
Yeah, this guy named Harlan Crow is like a billionaire, and he basically gave Clarence Thomas a bunch of like presents, like monetary presents, um, and which is super super bad form in the judiciary to accept any sort of like present.
Yeah,
But
and he
yes,
just failed to.
and he didn't report it,
He's like,
right?
"Oh,
And
I
it's
didn't know I'm supposed to." That's what he's claiming.
which is he knew. But yeah, the weirder piece of it too is that Harlan Crow gifted or like bought a house for Thomas that his mother is
His mother's
still
still in.
living,
Yeah.
which is so weird. Yeah, it really does highlight how there should be a method. Like we should, first of all, there should not be lifetime appointments for Supreme Court justices, but also there needs to be a more robust way to remove them for misconduct, because this isn't even the first. Like his wife Ginny Thomas like helped orchestrate the insurrection at the Capitol. Like he should not be serving on the bench.
Yeah, get his ass out.
Yeah, yeah,
He's corrupt.
he's so corrupt. It's really maddening. um so yeah, I guess we'll see.
I wonder if that house where his mother, if she's in it because it's not like a neighborhood that likes black people, and like he's using someone
Oh,
else's name on the house so
oh,
that she can be in it.
I would, yeah, I think that like might be.
And then here's the irony. His black ass ain't done nothing for us. Woo.
No, not like it's, yeah, it's really so infuriating. And he also just like doesn't do any, like he doesn't ask questions on the bench. Like I don't know what he's doing. But it's just really, and all like there I think there's only, I think it's only like there's only like one or two justices on the bench currently that were appointed by Democratic presidents. All the other ones were appointed by Reagan or Bush
Yeah, that's the
Senior.
thing. They've been setting this up for years. They knew their plans. I mean, the ability to think about what's going to happen not now but later is really important for us. You
Totally.
know, to think
It, yeah.
ahead, because they were thinking about this
Oh, they
way,
absolutely.
so and it's so funny cuz like I just never think about these things until like, and
No.
I'm in my 50s and I'm just now learning a lot of this stuff, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they've kept me dumb on purpose on this stuff."
Oh,
Like
for sure. For sure.
your
But
generation though is well informed, and they say that your generation is going to make it impossible for, is it the GOP?
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, like the GOP is then, for like younger generations taking away educational resources that they would need to be, as like open-minded and educated as my generation is, which is frustrating. But I do think I saw this like really great article about, I think it was from Politico. I can't remember, but it basically was like the Tennessee Three, the three legislators in Tennessee, um, have been a really great example of how Democrats can and should be playing things. Like when, like these three legislators, Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, well, those are the two that were expelled from the
Mhm.
Tennessee legislature and then were immediately reappointed. So, like, it doesn't even matter that they were expelled, and now like they have all this really great press that they can bring like attention to the issues that they want to fix in the state of Tennessee, which I think is really great. They very much outplayed the Tennessee Republicans, and I think that's more of this is kind of what we need to be doing to have foresight, and to think more ahead of just like what's immediately in front of
Yes,
us.
you're right. You're right. I mean, I was on a Zoom this week about, affordable housing because there's a vote going on this week. DJ
Mhm.
Eric Prince, you could probably speak to this. And by the way, welcome everybody. I haven't really said hello. Don't forget to tell us where you're at. I see Chicago, the West Side, right? Is the West Side of Chicago is here, Marcus. What up, Marcus? Are you going to the Chosen Few picnic? DJ Eric Prince, have you ever been to Chicago? You want to go to Chicago and listen to some real house music? Um, but affordable house like rent increases. I think this week they're going to be voting in New York
Oh,
City. Oh, thank you. Linda's in Texas.
nice.
Welcome, Linda Martin. Um, yeah, so they're saying they want to, a lot of these rent controlled apartments are not allowing landlords to make their money. So they
Yeah.
want to increase it, but it's going to affect the type of people who live in New York,
Yeah.
because people can't afford the rent as it is. The rent already too. Remember that there was a guy who ran
I
for
love that
office.
guy.
The rent is too damn high.
Yeah. I don't even remember like what he looked like. I just
I
remember
remember
like
when he looked
Keenan
crazy.
Thompson, like
Yeah.
what playing him on SNL. Um, but yeah, the rent is too damn high
Yeah.
in New York. Um, I don't know. I mean, like I have very little sympathy for landlords. I think a lot of the time, I don't know. Personally, I have ethical issues with like the way that they charge people for like a necessity that humans need. Like everyone needs a place to live, and everyone deserves to have a place that is safe and clean, and has electricity and all that. So yeah, I think keeping things rent controlled or at the very least rent stabilized is the way to go. I'm fortunate to live in a rent stabilized apartment. I just resigned my lease, and my rent only went up $99, which is like such a blessing, truly. That I don't have to work because I know so many people who their landlords, like when they're re-signing a lease, are trying to upcharge them like $600 or something crazy. And it's just like, where do you expect people to get all this extra cash? It's really unreasonable.
Yeah, I forget what is the percentage that New Yorkers spend on rent of their salary. I think it's
Oh, it's a
like
lot.
it's a
It's
lot.
like,
I want to say 30% maybe.
yeah, it's like 40%, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate. I've been staying in my little hole in the wall.
Yeah.
But they tried to do some improvement on the set. Oh, thank you, Sujay. 30-40. Yes, thirty
Yeah.
forty percent I want to also say hi to James' grandson. I love that name,
Hello.
by the way.
It's a good name.
James' grandson from Brooklyn, New York. What up, Brooklyn? Whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
hello. What
I don't know
neighborhood are
what
you
I just
in?
did. I was trying to make a Brooklyn sound, but
Oh, nice.
I don't think it fared well. Brooklyn in the house.
That's good.
um, but yeah, it's like they fixed the stairs,
Yeah.
and one of the steps, like they do this thing where they always fix things bad, or they
Yeah.
do things bad in the beginning. And
Yeah.
I told the super this so many times. I'm like, if you do it right the first time, you don't have to come back to fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just common sense. I don't know. Even if you're doing it the cheap way, still do it the right way. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Call
know
me
it's
like
so
crazy.
it's yeah, no, that's like such a landlord thing to like try fix something but do the bare minimum.
Oh,
Oh,
congratulations.
mazel tov.
Yes. New grandson, Eric Prince. Little
That's a big
little
boy.
9. Wow. Yes. Oh, that's wonderful.
That's really
That is
beautiful.
so great.
So exciting.
Whew, that's exciting. God, I haven't seen you in a while, DJ Eric Prince. We've got to hang out soon. And James' grandson. Oh, is back to saying that he loves me and kudos to the grandson. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah. And then they haven't passed the budget. Like Hochul's taking forever on it. It's taking like way past 2
I
weeks or
know.
something like that.
Hochul's been so disappointing.
So everyone's disappointing, right? The
Yeah,
mayor.
basically. Yeah. I mean, like, it's so funny to like look back at like stuff with De Blasio, and it's like he was a fool.
He was bad though. He was
he
pretty
he
bad.
was he was bad, but like it's like, ugh, like I don't know. Like at least he was kind of goofy.
He did some things though too. I forget. It's just like my life. Sometimes I'm get so preoccupied. It's like it's overwhelming to know how much stuff they do wrong. Like, I was telling someone this week they were talking about how Giuliani cleaned up New York City, and now it's back. And I'm like, you know what? The narrative on Giuliani is that, and it's wrong because
Right.
he cleaned up Times Square. But what did he do to Harlem and the Black individuals living in Harlem? A lot, a lot. That is still, we're still seeing the effects of it today. Now, most of the population that's homeless, they were just saying in New York City, is mostly people of color, Black, brown, on the streets. And that's because most people have been displaced and the
Yeah.
ones that are left are homeless. So when we talk about affordable housing and why the situations, that didn't just happen overnight, and it didn't just the pandemic exasperated it, but it was coming.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And to your point about Giuliani, like absolutely, like you're so right. Like under Giuliani, like stop and frisk was the huge thing, and that's so
Central Park, was that
unconstitutional.
him? No, that wasn't him. Central Park 5.
Oh, that was oh God.
I think that was Mayor Koch.
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to think of who was after Dinkins.
Yeah, so and I don't have the specific. There's more specifics, but the thing that I learned on this Zoom this week was that the redlining that happened in Harlem. So you weren't able to get loans. You got like homes that were less affordable, right?
Yeah.
Because you were living in a neighborhood that no one wanted to be in. But get this, your taxes were higher than the
Mm.
millionaire who had office buildings and property values that were much higher. Now you could argue, I could hear people going, well, yeah, your tax got to be higher because you're paying low rent or whatever. But it was like 4 times that
It's crazy. Yeah.
the taxes that were dumped on people who couldn't afford it, and then they weren't. And that's why they've all left too, because
Yeah.
over time they're like, I just can't afford to live here. I
Yeah.
can't do this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's bring in, he's here. He's a
here.
little late today because, who knows? He was on my Instagram this week. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I saw.
He was dancing. So here he comes, David Juskow. We can't hear you, Juskow. Nope. Which is actually perfect.
It's
I'm gonna
refreshing.
applaud. We can't hear you.
Is the wrong mic?
Is it now? Is it?
Now
Yeah.
we hear you. Yeah.
Oh, I guess it was just a matter of this.
Oh,
Dave,
it's so nice
we're
to
in my-
see you back in your house.
Huh?
It's nice to see you back home.
Oh,
The
right.
last time
I've been
we
on the road for the past 2 weeks. That's right. I forgot about that. And didn't we see DJ Eric Prince on Tuesday?
No, that wasn't DJ Eric Prince. He
He
wasn't
was
DJ.
black and he was a DJ.
He was
sure it
he
wasn't
was
him?
Puerto Rican.
Oh.
And he was not a dark Puerto Rican either. Actually,
Remember-
no, I don't even think he's he was Italian.
Right, I asked you that.
Oh my
Is that
God.
DJ Eric Prince? But that was fun on Tuesday. I got really messed up, and then
You got
I
messed
only got
up.
2 hours of sleep. Yeah, I was there until 1 a.m.
Oh, look, Linda's giving you a compliment,
Oh,
Evelyn. Sorry to
what?
cover your face, Jessica, but I thought it was
But
important.
also not sorry.
Always
That doesn't bother
appreciate
me.
what you have, because Evelyn was breaking
Sorry,
it
DJ,
down.
Oh, thank
Breaking
you,
it
Linda.
down when you weren't here.
That was fun. Do you have the video of us?
I do, but then if the music plays,
Oh,
they block it on YouTube because I
How
don't have the
lame.
copyright for
you
it.
don't have the copy. I have the copyright to that song.
No, you do not.
What was the song?
But I'll pull it up and maybe I just won't use the sound.
Was it Everything Is Awesome from the Lego movie?
No.
No. Wish it was.
But we did have a lot of fun. And Jessica, Rachel said you were leaping.
In the video?
Yeah, leaping.
Oh no, she gets confused between plies, leaping, and chaîné turns. She doesn't understand how I work.
Oh, let me just address this. Hey, Joy Everywhere. We started like 20 minutes ago. We kind of went over a lot of serious topics. We just need to go over some like really fast. We talked about the birth control pill. We talked about affordable housing. We talked about the Supreme Court.
Clarence
Thomas, that coon. And so so anyway, and then we'll be jumping back in. Okay. All right. Back
hey, guess what I did yesterday? You'll both like this. This is so crazy. I went to my university. One of my students was doing an improv group.
Oh my God.
Up there. So I told them I would go. And it was awful, but there was so much energy. It was like annoying being comics. People were dying. I mean, they were going crazy because it was all students and their friends were doing the improv in this big lecture hall, and there was so much energy, and people were going crazy. I mean, they were like, ah!
That's the thing about being in a college. Yeah, I started doing comedy in a college comedy group, and like students come to shows generally as like a pregame. So like they'll be like drinking, and they're there just to have a good time and to see their friends. And so college audiences are like, generally speaking, are like pretty good. And then so when I moved to New York after college, I was like,
for you if you're in college.
Right. Yeah. And then I moved to New York after college and was doing comedy. I was like, what is this? Like, I was so used to having such like great audiences.
And then they were going crazy, if Evelyn was there, you could see her just be people screaming out, Evelyn!
Right.
Because you get excited. Somebody like Evelyn, she's got a lot of friends. I mean, it was hilarious in that. I mean, it was a pleasure to be. I mean, their improv was awful, but it was really, really great. Like in the sense of just its energy, it was so funny, and just you're like, that's nice.
It is nice.
But improv stinks.
Well, no,
it stinks.
In your opinion,
It's no.
By the way,
it's not my opinion.
Joy Everywhere. No, to answer your question. This is the only way you can join us in chat. And this is the first time we've seen you here, so we appreciate you for joining us. But just, have a conversation with everyone in the chat. Okay, continue with your dumb opinion.
How do you not believe improv stinks? I mean, it's awful.
I would say the college improv is pretty bad. That's what I will.
But they were having the time of their lives. That's the thing, so you take that into consideration, and they're all like, "Oh my God, Professor, thank you so much for coming."
Have you ever seen the Upright Citizens Brigade before? Before when it was like with
Amy Poehler and Matt Besser? Yes.
I was there back in the day.
But they're sketch comedy. That's not improv. That's
different. They did improv.
No, they did improv.
You do improv too.
Upright Citizens.
I know. There's. I thought Upright Citizens was more of a sketch thing.
No, they did. It started as improv, and then they started teaching like sketch classes.
Right, maybe that's the way. I mean, there's different forms. There's long form improv and sketch, maybe it was something like that. But whatever, there are some people that are excellent at it. I just never get the luxury of seeing those people. It seems. I used to be in an improv group in 1988 before Evelyn's parents were even together, and
together.
Oh, I took a shot, and it was really. The guys I was in the group with were excellent. I was bad, but oh my God. And there was this guy, and I forgot to tell the girl I was with yesterday about this, that we would do the things where, bad improv is totally painful, Mike. Where I've never seen any of these objects before, and I'm going to do bits with them, And this one guy, no matter what the object was, he made it a Hitler mustache,
Oh my God.
Every time. And it made me cackle laughing every time. Any object, a mouse. Hi.
Okay, we've never gotten a question for help because, Joy, I want to thank you for thinking we can help you on this. But I think it's important to address the fact that you do want our opinion on this. So
That
Joy is
could
saying
be a form of rosacea as well.
I have
If the Head and
dandruff.
Shoulders isn't working.
I wash my hair with Head and Shoulders, but still dandruff coming. Why? Why American products not tested in hard people hair?
It's not that. You might have rosacea, and then you have to get a special shampoo that works. Like, you have to see your doctor. If Head and Shoulders isn't working, it could be rosacea.
Yeah, just see your doctor.
Because I've had the problem.
But yeah, seeing a doctor is probably the best thing too.
Right. If Head and Shoulders isn't which normal dandruff, then it's something else. Like I said, this rosacea, which I had rosacea on my face, and they gave me shampoo to use. It was like whatever was dripping down.
Interesting. And maybe it's some jojoba oil.
I
just like saying jojoba oil.
That's what I had a feeling. You just like saying jojoba.
Because I've been wanting to say jojoba, because I used to go jojoba, but it's jojoba oil.
I say hoda katabi.
And vitamin E. I don't know. That may agitate things.
You got to check. Don't look it up online, Joy. Whatever you do, don't do that because it'll say you're dying. Go see your primary care doctor if you have one, or an urgent care person. Do not Google what you have.
Yeah,
that's like the worst. Never do that.
Also, if you do try to do like some sort of homeopathic recipe, like or remedy, like with vitamin E or like whatever, like make sure
see a doctor and use science.
Right, but also just make sure if that's what you're going to do, just do, if you haven't used the product before, just do a little spot test just in case like you're not allergic to it, because that's important. You don't want to put something on your head and then make it worse.
Exactly, and what type of hair? Because I think you're asking because you also have like a type of hair, but I think it doesn't matter if it's something serious going on. You still need to really go to a dermatologist as well. Heck Tech wants to know if I've done improv, and I used to, believe it or not, when I was a teacher back in the day, and I shouldn't have been, but I was teaching the theater. I used to use improv from Stella Adler techniques in class. So I would do it in class, and I would also teach it as a teacher for intro to acting. I would do a lot of like, you're at the bus stop. Who are you? Where were you? What's your character?
Every time they were asking for a thing, I just kept saying pharmacy, a pharmacist.
That's the character you would play?
No. Yesterday,
when they asked for a suggestion,
I don't know why. And the girl, I took one of my students with me. This girl. I know that's weird, but she just goes, why do you keep saying pharmacist? And I'm like, I don't have anything other material.
It's honestly so much better. I've been to so many like improv shows where they ask for a suggestion and someone's like dildo or like whatever. It's like
they were actually, if you're saying it like that, then they were unbelievably well behaved.
Wow.
But I'm telling you, it's like if only stand-up comedy could be like that. What Evelyn was just saying, I guess it's like that in college too.
It can be.
No,
that show that Evelyn, remember that show I did where it was like a festival and it was colleges? It was
the Skidmore comedy
and
festival.
they were, when I tell you they were really into the comedy show, I mean, I got a standing ovation from them. It was amazing, but it was also like, and it was for stand-up.
That's fantastic. But that's what I'm saying. If it could be like that all the time, boy, then those kids are going to be so spoiled. They probably think they're unbelievable at improv. It's funny. They put a little video at the beginning, and maybe maybe I've shown you some stuff. I used to have a TV show in college, and we just thought it was the greatest thing because we won some awards and stuff. And you go out into the real world and people are like, what the hell is this? And yesterday they put a little video together, and I'm like 40 years later with all this technology, and it still sucked. It was unbelievable. But they probably think, and people were dying, they were going crazy for it. It was awful.
Well, it's nice that they got some support.
It was fun. It was fun as hell, though, I gotta say. But I was mad at my nephew. He should have come with me, and he blew me off. And this is what he's trying to find friends there, and he wants to do improv. And why he didn't come, my sister is so angry at him.
So Jamie Foxx, just so you know, like, yeah, it's been reported that he's in the hospital
Do you know
of a
why?
well, there's been some things tweeted. I don't know if it's true that it's a stroke. This was tweeted, so I don't know if that's true. I'm putting that out there. This is
Well, it's got
not
to be
me saying it.
something big.
I just want to make it clear. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that's what it is. It's just this is what
Marina, I mean, how many times we got to go over it? You reach 50
because
as a
it's
man.
so
No.
important.
I mean, you reach 50 as a man. None of this is surprising. It's just It's shocking, but it shouldn't be. Anytime a guy
I
reaches
don't know if
50, you
that's the
just.
situation though. Like I said, I don't know if that's what's going on with him.
DJ Eric Prince just said he had a stroke.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
supposedly.
it's you can't put it out there as a statement. We can't even really talk about
I'm
it.
not putting it out as a statement. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying you are.
These
I'm
things
saying I
happen.
can't put it out as a statement because I don't know
It's
if
too
it's
bad.
true.
I mean, it's just funny. We keep seeing it more and more, and I don't know whether it's just in our kind of.
But we don't know
profession
if
or.
that's what it is. And here's the other thing: is
Well,
the
he's in the hospital for something.
Well, the daughter also said, "Could you please respect our privacy?" So this is why I emphasize I don't want to.
We're not. TMZ put it out.
It's still like I get it. Like respect the family's wishes.
I don't want to respect their wishes. I don't really care.
I
for
know
Jamie
you're a
Foxx as an actor.
disrespectful moron. I said that like Greg Rogel. You're a disrespectful moron.
That is so true.
And so,
Wait, can you put our video on without the music?
okay, but Joy has another question while I'm finding it. I like the fact that Joy asks questions. I have another issue too. I run 10 kilometers. What's that?
Oh God, I don't know.
Well, a 5K
I don't know
is
the
3
metric
miles,
system.
so probably 7 miles.
I was 68 kilograms.
I don't know what that
I don't know
is.
what that is. We're in America and we're idiots. Sorry.
So let's say he runs 6 miles every day, and he was 300 pounds. I don't know what 68 kilograms.
But now I am 36. I use American-made protein
Does that
powder.
mean 36 age or 36 kilograms?
No, 36. I use American-made protein powder. Well, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
And anything American-made, you got to be suspect, especially if you're overseas.
Protein
You're better.
powder is stupid.
Okay,
Don't
68
take that.
kilograms is like roughly 150 pounds.
Okay. And they are expensive, but why didn't I get muscle? Why don't I get muscle and stamina yet? Why losing weight? Okay, so
Because the protein powder doesn't work.
yeah.
I think if you're trying to like gain muscle instead of running, I think a better option is to do weightlifting.
Of course.
Because that's really gonna build muscle. While like if you look at runners, they're generally pretty lean, pretty skinny. So yeah, I would maybe switch to weightlifting if that's an option.
Yeah, a lot of times with I guess the people that work at those places, they tell you to use the muscle powder too. But I agree with you. Just the weightlifting, those powders doesn't make sense.
So,
Everybody wants the quick. Oh, there we go.
This is us
Haven't seen
dancing.
I'm
not playing the music because it'll get blocked.
Right. Oh my God.
What event was this at the Comedy Cellar?
This was one of the shows, and the crowd was going crazy.
Nice.
They have their holiday parties usually like way late, like in the year. This was like their Christmas party.
Oh, that's so funny.
So it was like on to look at Juskow.
I wanted to do a choreographed dance, and you just weren't in the mood for it.
I didn't know that.
See, look what Molly wrote. I want to go to that dance party. She gets it.
Yeah, it was fun. You have little two steps, and you're doing the head nod.
I was going for it all.
You do, and then you do the sexy shoulder at one point. I saw you. Wait, let's see. Here it comes. What? Raising the roof. Yeah.
I meant to do the overbite, but I never got to it.
The overbite.
The white man's overbite.
What is that?
I've never seen that.
You never seen that? That's usually when white guys are dancing.
Here comes the sexy shoulder. Oh my God.
Most of my moves are taken from the movie Grease. So
oh my God.
And then Juskow was like, I'm so glad you get to do a video while you're not wearing like your stupid pants. And I told him, I said, they split. So those pants gave up on me. Those pants, my old jeans were like,
that's That's
those old
funny.
jeans were like, bitch, you know you ain't supposed to be wearing me no more. Why you still wearing me? So you gonna keep wearing me, and I'm gonna let the people know. So it's split right in my in
Marina,
my
if you don't
crotch
do
area.
that joke on stage, I'm gonna kill you.
No, thank you. I just is like
They quit on me. Why are you
not
still
my
wearing me?
jeans. The jeans still
Write that down.
they quit on me. The
That
jeans
is
were like the
so
jeans had
funny.
a conversation. They're like, come on now, bitch.
It wasn't any quiet quitting.
Come on, for real. Go shopping. Get in the go up
Marina,
a size now. Shoot, leave
That's
me
fucking
alone.
brilliant. That's great.
Drop me off.
Oh my god, that's funny. Oh, I went to the doctor about my eye. You see
Yeah, it
that?
looks better.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's worse. So now I have to put this hot pack on my
Compress?
head. Yeah, I put it in the microwave and then I sit around for like 4 minutes with it on and I can't see. And I was trying to walk around the house to see if I could see where I was. And I was like feeling around. And then when I took them off, I had no idea how I got there. I was in my mind, I was somewhere else. And then I realized I better just sit still because I'm going to get in trouble. But yeah,
Yeah, hot
thank you.
compress, massaging.
Yeah, how did you know?
I've had styes before.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. You know, speaking of like at the farmers market today, this woman gave advice, unsolicited advice to someone who had like similar to you, Juskow, but it was not, it's worse. They had like something in the middle there, like it's like a bump, right?
Oh, like a
Yeah.
cyst.
And she was like, you know what you need is castor oil. Just put some castor oil up on here, and then you ain't gotta go to doctor. Don't doctors will try to give you drugs. Don't. And you could see the guy was like, I don't really want to talk about this right now. Like I was just like, what are you doing, lady? Like
Right.
he's here every week. We see this, but that
Yeah.
don't mean you gotta open your mouth and give unsolicited advice. He didn't
The
ask
advice
you for
is to
advice.
give a drug from the 1930s. What the fuck? Castor oil.
Well, not even a
Castor oil.
drug.
The Little
It's
Rascals
just-
used to drink that. You know,
Should you put some castor oil on your eye?
I don't think so. First of all, remember every Little Rascals episode, they had to get castor oil if they got
Yes.
sick.
Yes, it was
Supposed to taste
horrible.
gross. It's probably like drinking Listerine.
Ugh.
And
The
then she
old-fashioned
walked away like she
Listerine.
was really proud of herself. She walked
Oh.
away and she was like patting
Castor
herself.
oil. Where do you even come up with that? You know what you need to put on that is witch hazel.
Witch hazel? Oh yeah.
They still make that apparently. Somebody had it the other day. I couldn't
Oh
believe
yeah,
it.
you have
People
witch
use witch
hazel.
hazel all the time.
Oh, you do? I haven't seen it since I
Men
was a
don't
kid.
understand witch hazel,
Oh, I guess
Evelyn.
that's the
No.
thing.
Because Yamanika and I were telling Mateo one time we were playing Fortnite and we were both like, just use witch hazel. And he's like, what's that? And we're like, oh.
Oh, the gay man
okay.
didn't even know. Interesting.
Well, I think it's just like women, we use it to clean our skin, our face. It's good on your
Yeah.
face. It's
I
good for
thought
blemishes.
it went away. Like I didn't think it was a actual. I'm surprised.
If
Where
it went
do
away,
they
it's
sell
come
it?
back.
Yeah.
Oh, look at CVS.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, Sujay
Mhm.
says it. It's a great skin toner. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, maybe I should use it.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are a lot of like natural
Wow.
products. Like my girlfriend and I are really into using essential oils for things like jojoba oil or like tea tree oil, very, very diluted. Is like if you
I
have like a
love tea tree
zit to like
oil.
put that on, but it's super diluted.
I love
This
tea
is a
tree oil. It smells so good.
good spot just to remind everyone why we do this.
Mhm.
I do this because I record a podcast every week. It comes out every Wednesday, audio. It's called look at just it's
Just
called Friends Like Us. It's a podcast in audio form. This is the YouTube page. This is
Mhm.
where we stream it to Facebook, to Twitch, and other platforms so that you can also find out what's going on with our most recent episode. We have an actress, Deandra Lyle, who's on the most recent episode of Friends Like Us. And she is an incredible actress who is in the new Bel Air series that's on
Oh, that's where
Peacock.
I've heard her from.
Are you
yeah.
watching Bel Air?
I have watched a few episodes, not the whole thing. It's really heavy.
Is it?
Yeah, the new season. But the few episodes I watched, I really liked.
I was asking her what it's like to be on a show like that. It's like, because it's a nostalgic show. So
Right.
Peacock apparently is doing. Jessica, what the hell is wrong with you?
I thought I wanted to see how it looked. Is it funny?
Are those underwear?
No, it's I don't know what it's. This is
Looks
what
like
I'm
a
supposed to
jock
wear
strap.
on my eyes. It does look like that. They're gonna have to get rid of Peacock, so the name, because it's got the word cock in it. That's gonna happen soon.
Who said that?
Oh, don't you know it's coming? Nobody said it. I mean, it's just like everything's getting crazy.
I know what's going to make you crazy. They're arguing about having a casino in Times Square.
Oh,
Yay
I
or
know.
nay? Look at them.
You know we don't want that. Any of us who
Oh,
live
it
here
sounds
definitely.
like a terrible
Oh
idea.
my God, that is just a disaster.
So
That
you
makes
say
me so
no?
upset.
Mm-mm.
Anybody that lives here is going to say no. Everyone, just like every time I tell you I'm going to run for Manhattan Borough President and use the parades and get rid of them. Anybody who doesn't live in Manhattan is like, no, why? But anybody that lives here, Marina, you know what I'm talking about. They'll be like, that's a great idea. Thank you. Thank
It's
you,
yeah.
President Juskow.
Oh, Mike
awful.
Diggiter, thanks for saying that. That's the episode that's coming out with D'Angelo House. Sorry. The one that's out currently has the doctor in it, Candace, and she's incredible. She talks about how to deal with children in stressful moments. She talks about the sexual revolution for women of color, which, we missed out on. We didn't have our sexual revolution, apparently. Here's another one for you, Juskow. What's closing on Broadway?
Phantom of the Opera.
How does that make you feel?
Good. It's been there way too long, and they need to open space for new shit. And although I hate Andrew Lloyd Webber, but I do like Phantom of the Opera, and there's a lot of good songs in it, and it was fun. But Jesus Christ, what has been 40 years?
Oh, it's that long?
Well, I saw it in the 80s, so I'm assuming it's around there. I mean, make room for new stuff. The fact that they still have the Lion King and Wicked there, I'm like, come on. I could bring it back to a remake, but you gotta. There's so many shows that need to go on and give a try, and that's the fun of Broadway. And it's really frustrating that I just got tickets for Funny Girl, my sister and I, because we got screwed because she got sick, and we had to get
you
our
saw
money
Julie
back.
Banco, who's fantastic.
We were told that we could see Julie Banco, and we told them to go fuck themselves.
Oh my God.
Now we know she's fantastic. We know that. We all know from the Beanie Feldschen incident, but we want to see Leah, whatever her name is.
Michelle.
Yes.
I've heard that with Phantom that like they're gonna close it and then like wait a year and then like just bring it back and like do a different
whenever they
version
say
of
a
it.
show is closing, they already extended it. It was supposed to close January 1st,
Yeah.
and then ticket sales went up because it was closing, and now all of a sudden it's almost May, and then I think you're right. They'll probably close it, and then they're like, it. I mean, I guess it's sold out every night. I guess if you're a tourist, but I saw it with the original cast. In fact, Evelyn, it's funny. I saw it with Andrew Lloyd Webber's wife. What's her name? The one who played Christine. She was Sarah Brightman. And all the gay guys I knew were like, oh, no, you have to go for the understudy, just like Julie Banco. I mean, everybody knew in town, go see the understudy instead. But I saw it with her. And she was like, never heard from again.
Just got a Broadway show and also apologized to me for being a little skanky.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I love him again.
Who's that?
What's his name?
Alex Edelman.
Oh, he's nice. I like him.
I know, but I got mad. Alex knows. Alex was like, Marina, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
I was like, good, Alex, because you're a good kid. I mean, you're not a kid. I always
He's
think
a kid-like energy.
I since I've known him, he's like a kid. He's like a big kid. So congratulations,
he's a big kid.
Alex has a Broadway show now.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
Have you seen it?
No, I'll go to the Broadway show because he's been asking me. Alex been asking me to go, and his manager. And I don't know why I didn't see the original, but my hours are weird, so I am very much looking forward to seeing it on Broadway.
It's good.
And
It's really
supporting
good.
him. He's a good kid.
So there's a lot of new people here. I see you showing up on Twitch, and you're asking, "Is this live on Twitch?" Currently, it is live. And then we're going to be ending in like 15 minutes. And we do this to promote what is my podcast. It's called Friends Like Us, which features women of color, but I promote it with white people, as you can see. And then we have these
I
conversations.
thought it was called Black Like Me for the longest time.
Oh my God. Oh my God. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the name Friends Like Us. So I put in the
Yeah, yeah.
submission to get it trademarked.
Good for you. That's
Ooh.
exactly the right thing to do.
I don't know if I
Nice.
filled out everything right, but I did my best. Whenever you have questions, just go to YouTube.
Was it Plato Democrat, whatever your name is? No, because it's a picture of me in it, like it's photoshopped.
Yeah.
It's
So
worth $1.
yeah, the joke is that Dave Juskow, who is the one underneath us, or shall I say beneath us, he is always looks like Nicolas Cage. They're saying that Nicolas Cage, by the way, in the new movie,
Renfield.
yeah, they say he is killer in it. That
Yeah,
he
but-
steals the show.
Of course he does. Look at him. Look at those posters. He's got to be terrific. I mean, he seems to get the gag now.
Yeah, but they say
playing
it's
himself
really,
and all that kind of
really
stuff.
good. Like they say, like the guy who plays or the other guy is kind of flat, but
Okay. Nicholas Holt.
I didn't Photoshop it. A friend did, because yes, I love the movie. It's my favorite movie,
yeah.
and I proved it by teaching a class about it last semester. So it's the real deal. Somebody made, who made it for me? Evelyn, do you know? Oh, geez, I can't think of her name. Forget it. She's on Long Island.
Oh, okay. Is she Jewish? Is that why you were asking?
No.
Okay.
I was just asking if you knew her. Because I don't think Marina would know her.
Do you see this question?
Michelle Fox, that's her name. Geez, I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah,
sure.
and you just entered his heart by asking that question. So thank you, Plato Democritus.
Plato Democritus. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. That's an excellent question. I don't know what my favorite part is.
I think most people would say the line, "You're just a virgin who can't drive."
Well, that's a great line. I mean,
Yeah.
You're just a virgin who can't drive. Ugh, that is way harsh, Ty. All right, let's just talk again when we've mellowed.
You know what show I'm watching right now?
It's amazing.
I finally
Right,
accepted that I have to watch it. Is Succession. I'm at the first season.
I haven't
Oh my
seen it yet.
gosh.
Apparently, that's the way to go.
I didn't want to watch it for a while because it's just like, white people, awful, rich people, but like the Murdoch family, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
basically
supposed to be like the Murdochs, the Trumps, kind of.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying it. The writing is superior.
It's very good.
Ooh,
If you haven't
felt
had,
wrong that I just said that.
if you haven't had the most recent season spoiled for you, I would definitely.
Somebody just spoiled for me yesterday, and I've never seen the show.
Don't say anything.
I just wouldn't look up Succession stuff online because something really, really big just happened.
I know, and it's like the spoilers are coming out, and see, I like going back and starting series that people have already watched.
Yeah, I do too.
It feels like it's my own.
I do that all the time.
Oh, you do? What do you do it with?
That's a good question. I started, oh gosh. Okay, well, I started watching like Ted Lasso, I think maybe like when it was during like halfway through the second season, I think. I totally agree. I like to watch like when the talk has kind of died down on something, because you're right, it does kind of feel like your own. I didn't start watching Succession until the third season, when it started getting like really, really good. Yeah, and I can't wait for the new episode tomorrow. But weirdly, like more recently, I've started watching things as they come out. Like I started watching Yellow Jackets right when it started.
Isn't that the girl? Is the girl from 2.5 Men in that? That's what somebody told me.
You mean Melanie Linsky?
Yeah.
Yeah. She plays like the main character. She's great.
Yeah, everybody says she's good. It's so funny. She played that crazy character in 2.5 Men for so many years. I just assumed she was just like, I guess she's a good actress.
She's really good. It's a huge
ensemble cast. In Treatment with Uzo.
Uzo Abuda.
That was amazing. In Treatment. I think when I hate to say this, but they did switch it up. I wasn't too into it. I know they used the black woman. I'm supposed to be like, rah, 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 but it wasn't the same for me. It was like something changed in the dynamic of the show overall. Like even the guests weren't as good as it was in the beginning, I would say. And I think they were trying to do something different, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is Peacock is really good with nostalgic Black shows. That's what we're finding. Now, a lot of the actors that I have on the podcast, they always emphasize they don't want to say that their shows are Black shows. Their shows can relate to anyone. And I get that, and it's important to emphasize that. However, a lot of shows that have done nostalgia have not done as well on other networks. Like Head of the Class didn't work.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Head of the Class with the with the kids from the 80s?
You read with me. I auditioned, remember? You don't remember?
That was for the Head of the Class remake?
Yes.
To be the teacher?
Yes.
Cool. And it didn't work?
You know what? I shouldn't have had you read
Howard
lines.
Hessman. That's what
your homework.
Howard Hessman. That was the guy. I just watched a couple episodes yesterday. I like shows about teachers, obviously.
So this is a good time, Evelyn, for us to go into some reviews and reviews of the Friends Like Us podcasts. For those of you that are new to this is what we do in this segment called Reading Our Reviews.
Let's do it. Yeah, so we got a new exciting. As a reminder, if you're a listener to the show, go ahead and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. It helps people who don't know about the podcast find us. So from Nalima Michelle, she said, smart, funny, interesting.
Leah Michelle?
No, Nalima Michelle. Smart, funny, interesting, 5 stars. Marina and her guests share interesting and insightful discussions that feel personal in the best sense, but are not navel-gazing, unlike many comedians who talk about themselves without having much to say. Marina is a great host, providing her thoughtful, funny commentary while also allowing for natural conversation.
Yes, that is true. Because as I've told you recently, I did a show and I was a guest on. I won't say. And the interest in me being there was like, I put so much work into welcoming the guest, making them feel like their time is valuable and that the information they're going to provide in that episode is valuable. And I did a show recently. I don't even know why they had me there.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, it's so important.
Really. But go ahead, Evelyn.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it also shows too, like every week, I don't always, but I have the option of reading reviews from guests because they love to talk about how much of a great time they have on Friends Like Us. Anyway, this other review comes from a friend like them who says, amazing, 5 stars, a must-listen podcast for anyone who feels like their stories are not being told, which I loved. And then I grabbed this review was actually from someone who left a comment on our live stream last week, Raphael Santori, who said to Marina, love your creativity, delivery, and content, especially the podcast. Love your honesty. Thank you.
Aww. Yes. Thank you. I do it for you. This but's for you, but this podcast is for you. It really is. It's been amazing. Some of the guests we have had on are really incredible. We have a guest that's coming on tomorrow. That episode will be out in 2 weeks, I believe. Or the week after next. And she is the first nurse in a wheelchair to advocate for disabilities in New York City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because
that's really awesome.
When you go through New York City, you see people trying to get on the subway and their access, it's awful.
It's awful.
Really
it's
terrible.
So scary. Those elevators, do they work? Do they not work? And the bus is even worse. The way they treat people, get angry, because everybody's got to get up. Oh, I don't even know what I don't know whether I'd want to live here if I had to be in a wheelchair.
Had to deal with disability. And here's the thing, the point that they make is we're all, a lot of people become disability at some point in their disabled at some point in their life. So it behooves you to care.
Oh, absolutely. And it's really like a lot of it is really just like simple stuff, like adding a ramp to like a building, making sure that they're adequate like ASL interpretation for like announcements. Yeah, it's just it's so easy to make these changes, and we have not as a society.
And to answer your question, Plato Democritus, the other platforms that folks are texting are mostly, I'd say, always go on our YouTube channel. That's the best way to talk to us, is
Yeah.
on YouTube, but also on Facebook. A lot of people are fans, of the podcast Friends Like Us, or they watch my comedy, so go to YouTube and you can go to Marina Franklin. As you see what's scrolling beneath the Linktree is, and I'll put it in the chat. You could click on all those links there to find out where to find us. So there you go. I'm out of conversation. That never happens.
That's why we're here.
Yeah,
I guess
what
it all started in a small radio station in San Diego. When I first got my first job, when I was named Loose Stools. Loose
what?
Stools with you and a chili morning. It's going to be unbelievable.
there's so many lines in succession that people can use too, that I was like, I have been missing out on quotes.
It's
like,
really good. It's so funny, and like all the acting is really top notch. Matthew McFadden as Tom Wamsgams is just really incredible.
And the what's the brother of Macaulay Culkin?
Kieran Culkin, he's really good.
Those
I saw him on Broadway a long
talented.
time ago.
I often think about the siblings, how siblings can be just equally as talented. They're both so I worked with Macaulay
Oh,
once
wow.
You did?
during the taping of the Jim Gaffigan show.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Yeah, he had a show, and I did the pilot, and I had to work with him. And Macaulay, he was so nice,
Really?
and so
That's nice
chill.
to hear.
He was so nice and cool, and then he would go into his lines, and I mean, you could see the difference. It's so funny when you act with certain people, like Steve Buscemi is the same.
What was
Where
he
you're just like-
playing? Macaulay Culkin or a character?
He's playing a character. I think it was a joke on the fact that he was behind the counter being a waiter.
I see.
That's
But
funny.
he was like, he was just amazing. You see them just switch it on and switch it off.
And it was Steve Buscemi, you said too?
Yeah, and like the energy that they bring to a scene is just like, there's so much more than just the line.
Well, why do you suppose, if you're saying Macaulay Culkin's like that, why doesn't he get more work?
I don't know.
Whereas clearly Steve Buscemi must be like that because the guy's been working for such a long time. And when you look like that and you're still getting work, you must be a pleasure to work with.
That's like I was actually gonna say, like, I think like Kieran in a lot of ways has actually had it a little bit easier because he did some like acting work when he was a kid. Like he was in Father of the Bride with Steve Martin as like a little kid, but like he wasn't huge in the same way that his brother was. I feel like Macaulay has had to like prove that like he's not just a child actor.
Because don't they have a third kid too?
Yeah, there are a bunch of kids, but yeah, another acting brother, Rory Culkin.
Oh, who was the kid in Home Alone as well that didn't he play Fuller? Or
Oh, I don't, maybe.
One of the brothers who was in another, classic 90s. I thought he was in Home Alone as well.
Oh, Sujay has the answer. He was discussing that he has a lot of money and is choosing to focus on other projects outside of acting.
Oh, that's cool. Good for him. Like the
I mean, he
Olsen
was so
twins.
chill. He was just like, I think he said something that I was like, that was so humbling. He was like, God, I was like, dear Macaulay, what are you talking about? I remember he was like, yeah, the struggle's real on this, right? And I was like, no. You don't get to say this.
That's funny.
But he just brings himself to your, like, he's not an asshole. I mean, there's so many out there.
That's great to hear.
I was telling someone recently, I saw a production at the Joyce Theater. I saw something this week. Isn't that amazing, Juskow? I actually went to go see a performance at the Joyce Theater. I forget the name of it, but it's like interpretive movement or dance. It's hard for me to keep a straight face.
My sister saw Vanities, the new musical.
Well, before you change the subject, let me just say this. I don't do this often. I don't go to the theater. I used to when I was a kid. I went with a friend. We did a little before meal drinking and then the thing. And she timed my meal.
She timed it?
The alarm clock went off. Like, she was like, okay.
Wait, at a restaurant?
Yeah.
I was just talking about this. It's a new thing. They're timing people's meals.
No,
What?
not the restaurant. My
Oh, not at
friend.
the restaurant.
My
Oh.
friend timed me.
What do you mean?
That
your
sounds like
friend?
not a real friend.
Yeah, what kind of friend
Well,
is that? What are you talking
you
about?
wouldn't believe it. You know who this is.
Oh.
When I tell you
Really?
afterwards who this is, you're gonna be like shocked. But she was like, I have to do this so that because I gotta know what we're doing next. But I was like, was that an alarm clock?
Is
that
it your
just went off?
sister? Because that would make sense.
No, it's not my sister. And I mean, I had a full like salad that I was about to dig into, but the
Oh my
alarm
God.
went off.
And they were like, no, you can't eat
And
that.
I was like, okay, let me just get along. We're gonna get. It's literally the theater was right across the street.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
And then I was like nervous to move during it because there's certain people you go see shows with, you can tell they don't want you to move in your seat. Have you been with those people?
What, at the theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you are that person.
No, I'm not that person. I don't. You mean move like to go to the bathroom?
Like just fidgety, in the seat.
Well, that is annoying.
But my knee was bothering me.
Well, that's annoying.
I wasn't
Everyone
moving.
else
No,
in the theater.
I wasn't moving because I could tell they were that person, and then my knee really started to hurt because I couldn't move it.
Well, these theater spaces that we have here in this city were made for people who didn't have. And I'm not saying this is you, but I'm saying that didn't have fast food back then and stuff. Like they're made for a different kind of people, shorter, thinner. It's really.
Are you
hard to
saying that
sit-
the seat
No,
was
I
like
am
my
not-
jeans? It was like, bitch, you
Well,
know you ain't supposed to be in this
No,
chair.
I'm just saying the seats are very uncomfortable. They're very old. They're
Yeah.
very close together. They're not made for people of today's proportions.
This is
And
what
I'm
I
not
saw.
saying that
Thank
happened to
you.
you, but
Oh, wow.
a lot of people have that trouble. You're sitting so close together. You have to, many times I have to put my shoes on the rail so my knees don't stray.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep your legs together.
So this is the show. It's Requiem of Ravel's Bolero. And the New York, when I tell you everyone stood up immediately and gave it a stand. They were like,
wow.
"Ah!"
How'd you find out about it?
Well, they invited me. My friend invited me, and I went. And I don't normally do. And I was like, sure, I'm off. I'll go. And then I was like watching this, and I was like, this is amazing.
Is it a play or a concert?
It's a requiem. Like, what would you say, Sujay? It's a requiem. Doesn't that say it?
I know Ravel's Bolero is music, but it's a concert.
There's dancing.
Oh.
It starts off, it's like interpretive dance. Like
but
it starts.
Dancing is, his music is slow and methodical.
Oh, let me tell you something. And it was like African, and it was like it starts off. It's just complete darkness. And I was like, all right, come on. And then it's like for like it felt like 5 minutes of darkness. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I would love to start my set like this. Just love to just start in complete darkness and just go, hello, everybody, But here's the thing. It's like it starts off, you hear this like crying that comes out of the darkness. You hear, and then it turns into song. And I was like, and I don't know what, like it was very intense. You could tell the theme was this is what happened during slavery to women and, pregnancy and childbirth and the separation of families during slavery. And it's very intense. There's moments, right? I'm not exactly sure when there was a dog in it. There was a lot of stuff going on. I'm not used to seeing things like this, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was really, I say go see it. It is South African. A South African dance company did it.
Wow.
And the New York Times gave it such a good review.
Okay.
It's amazing. So if you get a chance to see it. I don't think just doesn't look like Juskow's type.
No,
of
I
thing.
like seeing stuff like that. That sounds interesting.
I'll go take you. You want to go
Really?
see it? Yeah.
I'd like that very much. I'm free Monday.
Okay. What would Shashu Aisha say?
Yeah, what would she say?
Oh my God, that's my old joke. Thank you. That's when I
What
used
the
to do a
hell?
play. When I did a play in Brooklyn, they used to interactively talk to me while I was on stage.
Oh wow.
And they would get into it. They were like, Shashu. And I was on stage acting. They'd be like, Shashu, knock that bitch out. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Interactive theater. All right, guys, we have to get out of here. I've gone over time. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
You guys, it's going to be heavy rain later, so your allergies will subside. But I want to thank you all for being here. Evelyn, where can our listeners, our viewers find you?
Yeah, you can find me at my website, evelynfrick.com, as well as on Twitter. I'm usually posting things that I'm writing at Evelyn G. Frick.
Yes. And Juskow?
Well, we have the Comedy Cellar nightly show on Tuesday nights, but also our new live show on May 15th, Monday, May 15th, starring me and Marina Franklin and little Danny Natterman, Brian Scott McFadden. And that should be a very fun show. It's a Make Me Laugh show. Get an audience member, try to make them laugh. If they don't laugh, they win prizes.
And can they get free tickets if they, since they were here on the stream?
I don't know. This is my first show back, so I'll let you know.
All right, so maybe
do
next
it monthly.
week.
Yeah, we'll hopefully do it monthly. I don't know about the first show. If I want to ask Liz,
You can comp tickets.
Just give me a month, all right?
All right, we'll give you a month.
Let me just figure this out first and then take it from there.
Get your ass together.
Yeah. I'm nervous. I'm back.
Oh, he's excited.
Oh.
But you guys were all, thank you so much for joining us today. Some of you were new. Some of you asked for advice and then you got weird, but I don't mind giving advice. So maybe next week we'll do a little advice corner.
Sounds good.
Little segment called Ask Us Anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is Marina Franklin. Don't forget to wash your hands. I still wear a mask. Juskow saw it.
No, I did. God, it was annoying. Couldn't understand. It's already loud in there, and then you can't understand a word she's saying with that mask. Like, even if she's whispering in your ear, you can't, it's still muffled.
And I do be talking like crazy in that mask. Annoying. No one can understand me. I love it.
You're also the only one wearing a mask.
Yeah, because I ain't
that's why it
stupid.
stands out.
It was crowded. Look,
know.
I saw people, Evelyn, real fast.
Mhm.
I saw people at that party over the food doing stuff. I just was like,
she's right about that. Yeah.
Look, when
Vice
they put
days.
down food for everyone to eat, if I'm not at it first, I ain't at it.
Yeah.
Okay, because people drunk, dancing over it, putting their hands
Good
on
point.
it.
I didn't even think about that. I never eat the food there anyway.
I saw someone doing this.
Oh,
like
God.
just doing this
Oh,
on top of
no.
the food. I was like looking at them. I was like, they didn't realize they were over the food. I was like, no, I don't do that. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you check out this week's podcast that's coming out with Deandra Lyle. And also the current episode is very good. It's with Gina Brion. It's with a Dr. Candace and
Holly Harper.
Holly Harper, yes. And it is a really great conversation about the sexual revolution that left women of color behind, and also some advice about how to talk to kids with anxiety, because it was Black Maternal Mother Week just a week ago, and we know how important that is, that we focus in on that. So this is a great episode to listen to that's out right now, so check it out. Go to my Linktree that's in the chat. My name is Marina Franklin. Make sure you wash your hands, wear a mask still if you want to, and Black Lives Matter.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.